evening, all, and hope you're all well. Welcome to another live stream. With me, as always, we've got my buddy, Glenn. Hello, Glenn.
Hey, how are we? I'm all right, thank you. Are you?
Good. Yeah, I'm out of breath. I've just rushed to get logged in and everything because the boys were up watching Gladiators and they're up late, and then it just took forever to get sorted. So, you know what it is when you're watching Gladiators, you can't break away.
Well, you can't, can you? Exactly.
Oh, dear. Have you been up to much?
Have I been up to much? I went to a toy fair this morning in Stafford. I had a bit of a wander round and spent absolutely nothing.
Very good.
Yeah. And then called in at Utoxeter on the way home. Went to the one and only charity shop that was open and bought myself a shirt. So that was my date.
Very good. Well
exciting.
done.
I know. Yeah.
Anyway, without further ado, I suppose we'll to have a look who's in the comments section. Who's in the room with us, watching along, commenting, because we've got a few comments that I've not touched on yet.
Okay.
So let's have a look. I'm going to Atheros64. I was in early before we actually started. I just mentioned in the subject for today, been collecting since 2000, never once experienced or seen disc rot in any way, shape, or form. So we'll jump onto that in a moment anyway, because that's our topic of the week. We've got Movie Buff with us as well. I've had 2 DVDs with what looked like a stain mark on the discs, which I'm guessing was disc rot. One was stored in a cardboard box when moving home, and the other one was in a disc folder. Take care of your discs, man. That's probably why. I don't know. Might not be that. Might be other things, but it's there. Anyway, Anthony PLO is with us as well. Good evening, Anthony. Hope you're well. Good afternoon, Phil, Glenn, and to all of you lovely people out there in the chat.
Oh, very kind. Very nice.
Lynn in the room is with us as well. Yo, yo, yo.
Yeah, she's so street. She can't help it.
Yeah, yo, yo.
Yeah. Yo, yo, yo.
AJ Pink. Good evening, AJ. Hope you're all
AJ.
well. Clark of Many. Hi, Clark. Hope you're well as well.
Lucky one of many.
Big Jace. Good evening, Phil and Glenn. Also to everyone around the globe watching. I'm watching while waiting for my barber Shay,
to
cut my mop on a Sunday evening.
Well, I'm assuming Shay Shez is potentially his other half.
Yeah.
That's what I took from that.
Oliver Blake with us as well. Hi, Oliver. Hope you're well.
Evening, Oliver.
There we go. Jeremy, late to the chat, but here as always. Jeremy Carr. Hope you're well, Jeremy.
Mr. Jeremy Carr.
Good evening to John Robinson. Hope you're well, John.
Evening, John. Who was that? Who was that with John?
Oh, skipping back to John.
Sorry. Oh, okay. It's Elizabeth Shue. We established that last week. I couldn't tell last week, but yeah.
Jeremy here with the support. Don't forget to like, share,
Mm-hmm.
and subscribe. That's a good point, actually, because on my subscriber count, it's at 1,999. I'm one subscriber away from the magic 2,000.
I thought you might have ticked over by the time we started. But
yeah. So I'm hoping that if anyone watching along is not subscribed, if you could click that subscribe, it'd make my day to get to 2K.
Be that number 2,000.
Yeah. Jerry Chia with us as well. Good evening, Jerry.
Hey, Jerry.
Well, nice to see you both in good health again. Who's it? I'm not particularly in good health today. I might be squirming in my seat because I've pulled my back and it's hurting a lot. I'm not too bad sat down, but I may be a little bit squirmy tonight. So
if you're not pulling things off, you've pulled your back. I mean, you like pulling, don't you?
So Meows a lot with us as well. Good evening, so Meows a lot. Hope you're well.
Meows a lot.
Woody is with us. Hi, Woody. Hope you're doing well. Graham McDougall. Howdy, guys.
Hey,
Howdy, Graham.
Howdy to yourself.
Yeah. Dare to be Rare Books with us. Hello again.
Hey, Dare to be Rare.
What do you know? Shall I call you just Dare or just Rare Books?
Call him Dan.
Let
Dan
me know.
Dare. Dan Dare. Yeah.
Jeremy sending love from the USA.
Love back, Jeremy. Love back. Yeah.
I know. I was trying to get my reaction videos going, but I'm just not reactive enough. Get a like, or we can get some balloons from the USA.
Hey.
There we go. Yes, you are right. Big Jace's other half is cutting his hair.
I don't know about as always, Jace, but let's go with it.
Yeah. Oliver Blake has 358 subscribers.
Oh, let's get Oliver's up there. Come on.
Hopefully. Oliver, the only thing I'll say is just stick with it. Keep make any videos, learn from it, make changes, do whatever it is, just keep ploughing on, I think. Jeremy, hello everyone. I'm well, thank you. Hope all is well. I like too many of you to list names at this point.
Oh.
It likes us all. Dare to be rare books, shall fourth be known as rare books.
Hmm.
Rare books.
And not Dan.
Anyhow, pretty. I know you weren't particularly happy with this topic this week. I'm sorry. I apologise. I've been in.
No, it's fine. No, it's It's not. Literally, you know my story of the only bit of disc rot that I've encountered, and that was me taking a load of trade-in stuff to CEX, and my copy of 7. The guy said, "Sorry, was that you shutting your eyes?" As the screen went off. The guy who was trading in, taking my stuff in, he looked at my 7 disc and went, "Oh, I can't tell that. It's got disc rot." And it was just like a bit of blurring, kind of a bit of blemished kind of round the edge, but so minor. I just kind of went, I was quite surprised by it. So I just went, "Oh, right, okay, yeah, no problem," and took it back. And then thought, it looks like nothing really. So I took it the next time I went to trade in, I took it in and went with somebody else, and they just took it straight away, no problem.
Yeah.
That's my only encounter with disc rot. I've not actually had a disc that's had a problem.
You've been rambling on, and you ruined my dropping the intro card first. I wanted to intro us.
You just like the squeaky ropes.
You just jumped straight in there, didn't you? I wanted the topic of the week thing and everything, because I've got everything ready, and you just jump in. Topic of the week. You ruined all of that, man. Ruined it all. But never mind. But anyway, yeah, the disc rot, it's been in the headlines quite a lot recently. I know you've only encountered that once, and then you kind of got over that. But
do you want me to tell you about it, or
that's all right.
Okay.
How worrying to you is the disc rot thing? Because it's been in all the headlines. There's a lot of sort of scaremongering about it, that it's a very real thing, and everyone is going to be affected. Our collections will be ruined. Disc rot's going to get us all. How worrying is it for you with your collection behind you? And how worrying do you think it is for other collectors as well? Is there anyone in the chat? How bothered are you about this disc rot problem that seems to be touted everywhere?
I think there's others that are going to be more worried, for sure. I'm not personally worried. I think if it was something that was kind of out of print and really hard to get hold of, and it was your only option of owning it, that's probably one thing to kind of worry about. But in general, if we're talking about older discs, then we're talking about cheaper discs to replace, potentially.
Yeah.
You know, something that you can probably pick up for a few pounds from CEX. But realistically, are you replacing like for like then? And getting in the same age, and you're probably going to have the same risk. I don't really know.
Yeah, this was one of my other things with it. I mean, with this disc rot thing, a lot that came out about it was that it's going to be Warner Brothers discs manufactured between 2006 and 2008. And I'll put DVDs on there, but I had one. My oldest disc in my collection, I Am Legend. This came out April 2008, and you know what? Today, I actually checked it, and I thought, I'm interested now. I'm just interested in these Warner Brothers discs, but I couldn't see any sign of anything on there.
Is it down to, will they all just go that way, or is it down to how it's stored, the humidity in a room, all of these kinds of things? Are they factors?
I don't know. I don't know, because what's it's the glue between the layers of the reading. A lot of the problems with the Blu-rays have come from the BD50 discs with dual layers that it's meant to read, and it's the glue in between that's been wasting away, and that is the rot. It's not mold growing like you'd find on a VHS tape. It's just the degradation of the glue in between the layers, and as that goes, it can cause skipping, it can cause unreadability on the discs, and it's a certain manufacturing plant that have been found that the standards probably weren't up where they should be, which is where a lot of this has come from, because I think it was Joe Blow was reporting that I have it on my phone because
they had a list, didn't they?
I didn't have time to write it all down.
Mm.
But there was a number of defective titles, apparently, many BD50s titles, not just Warner Brothers titles like 127 Hours, Cloverfield, Hellboy. I've got Hellboy back here actually. Peter Jackson's King Kong, which is Universal. Scream, Scream 2, Scream 3. So it's just sounding like it might be a certain time period that these discs are affected by. And I mean, it's not just the general studio ones. There's been reports of some Criterion titles, 27 releases, have such known defects like Seventh Seal, M, and Paris, Texas, and Citizen Kane, apparently. So it's, yeah, it's worrying slightly, but I think a lot of the time, I don't know if I would notice a disc in my collection having rot, because it's that rare that I get the discs out anyway.
And I think all of those films that you've just mentioned have had other releases.
Yeah, this is
so it's not like it's the one and only opportunity. You know, you mentioned things like Hellboy. That's had how many re-releases, including 4K and various different things. So
I just looked, it's all the way over there. It's not behind me.
Oh no,
no. I'm going to jump to comments a second, and then we'll come back to this in a second. So Oliver Blake, I have never seen rot on DVDs. And that sort of, I've not seen it on DVDs myself, but then I wonder if I've actually held on for the DVDs long enough, because I've been upgrading like a mother fun boy, and I've not had time to notice that rot, because I've already moved on to like Blu-ray, and then from Blu-ray, if I want to rewatch film, generally it's like move on to 4K. So I've always had newer editions that have taken over the older ones, so I've not seen it firsthand. But AJ's just had it. He's never seen disc rot either. And I must admit, the only disc rot I've experienced, I put it in the comments earlier, we were on Laserdiscs. Because just before I sold my Laserdisc player, I took a couple of discs out, and I did notice a couple that had the slight markings around the edge. And I think I tried replaying Grosse Pointe Blank Laserdisc, and there was artifacting on screen. And I think that was caused by disc rot as well. But yeah, that's the only format I've seen it on myself.
I mean, is it a ridiculous comment to say Laserdisc might be more prone because it's a bigger surface area? I don't know whether.
I don't think it's an unfair thing to say.
That's what I'm saying. If it's the glue between the two layers as well, then I think storage will be a factor. Things will make something degrade a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Certain temperatures, or if they're kept in sunlight, and various different things, won't they?
Yeah, Jerry just added actually moisture, damp, humidity, direct sunlight, and known disc killers.
Disc killers. Wow.
Yeah. Woody, I have CDs which I've had for around 40 years, no issues.
Yeah.
DVD, I've seen a handful of discs with the start of disc rot. It doesn't bother me.
Right. Okay.
I remember CDs being a problem, a known problem for this. I remember when my dad very first had a CD player, one of his first CDs, he pointed out to me this could suffer from disc rot in so many years' time. And I do vaguely remember that as a kid, that there was a few discs that he had that he was worried he was going to lose through. I don't think he referred to it as disc rot, but I know he mentioned a problem with the discs themselves. Clock. Only ever seen one disc with actual rot. Binned more than that for being scratched and skipping, so not really a problem yet. Yeah, I've seen worse state discs elsewhere than disc rot. Anthony, I have not seen any of that unless I've been taking a good look at it. I think I'd be hard-pressed to find one in my collection, to be fair, that had rot. I think I'd get bored after checking about 50 and then just give up.
Yeah, I think that, to be honest.
If it appears when it appears, that's it. It doesn't matter too much. Cameron Dune, the disc rot issue seems to be an issue amplified and exaggerated by the people who want to see the demise of physical media. Don't listen to the noise.
I do think even when they go, it's affected 150 discs or something, 150 titles, that is a drop in the ocean. Out there. Absolute drop in the ocean. Yeah, so this topic's useless. What have you picked this for, you fool?
I'm interested because I'm going to move it on in a second and ask you something else about disc rot. Graham McDougall, move off. Not overly bothered, to be fair. Anything that I've owned for 20 plus years, if it stops working, that's fair enough. Touchwood, it's not been an issue for me.
Yeah.
Jerry Cheer, my 5-disc Blu-ray Blade Runner Collector's Edition from Warner Brothers, and it was bought 2005, and it's still pristine. Jeremy, rot isn't a word that should be used, in my opinion, but how can you do?
What can you do?
Yeah, what can you do? However, check the discs every 3 to 4 months. I've had disc rot on 1 DVD and 3 Blu-ray.
Wow.
Managed to get replaced for free. That's some good game.
Check you out, Jeremy Carr.
Last Days on Earth. I wonder if Dirty Rotten Scoundrels will play.
Yeah.
Rare books. Speaking of books, if Doctor Who discs die, there are novelizations for a lot of episodes in old Doctor Who made in the 1980s with paperback and hardcovers.
Well, they'll just regenerate anyway, won't they? So,
yeah.
Oh my God, I did a Doctor Who reference and I knew what I was talking about.
Anthony, if disc rot is an issue, it's because of manufacturing issues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's where it came in. DJ Mr. Joel, CED laser disc, CED. Jeremy, as far as the list that came out, I have a few that are adjacent on there. For example, put Spawn animated series Biscuit Tin, which is DVD only. However, I don't have the Biscuit Tin version. No Biscuit Tin version.
No Biscuit Tin. Good boy.
Mine is the standard, so just going to keep an eye out. Standard edition, Jeremy. Whew, you need that steel book.
So Jeremy said that he checks his on a regular basis. I mean his discs, not. But hey, guys, check regularly anyway. Just be safe. Does anybody else on here actually check their discs? Did anybody see that headline and go, "Oh, I better look at my discs"? Because
we'll see. I'll carry on with comments.
It didn't occur to me to bother doing it.
No, Daz, it's not technically rot. It's more of a chemical breakdown of the materials. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jeremy, yes, I have CDs from 1988 that still work fine. As a couple of months ago when I played it.
Yeah, I think that. I've got a lot of old CDs and they're still all okay.
I bet my dad's still got that CD from back then. It was talking about rot. I'll have to go and hunt it out and check it out.
Still plays it once a week.
Yes. Anthony, if not only DVDs, would it be the same for Blu-rays? Yes.
Yes.
I think it's the same for any disc format. I think the lifespan for a lot of them, it's got shorter and shorter over the formats as well, because I don't think Blu-rays aren't expected to last as long as DVDs. 4Ks aren't expected to last as long as Blu-rays. And yeah. I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, facts.
No, but yeah, facts. You made your point. You came to the end of it.
Yeah. AJ, if it happens, it happens.
If he dies, he dies.
So I was like to watch Planet of the Spiders last night. Doctor Who. See, Oliver Blake's just added as well. I love Doctor Who.
Mm.
I'm going to have to bring on my Spencer or Jimmy to do a couple of interviews on here as well, because they've played creatures in Doctor Who. So one day I will make it so if anyone's interested in.
Well, on that subject, I need to book a couple of nights off. So probably your optimum time to do it.
Yes.
And you can talk about Doctor Who, and I don't have to.
Fair. When was that? Sorry, I wasn't particularly listening.
It's quite all right.
Yeah, so with these discs, if you dug into your collection and found a disc that had rot, I don't know why you'd be digging through, but you found a disc that had rot, would you immediately replace this disc with a new sealed copy, or would you just let it go and bin it, or keep the case on the shelf, or anything like that? Would it force your hand to react in a certain way? Because I'm just thinking of I Am Legend. This one, if this had rot, I'd just chuck it in the bin. I wouldn't worry about replacing it straight away. I'm not that bothered. I don't know if it's because I'm not that bothered about the movie particularly. I would watch it again, but I wouldn't feel like I needed to replace it straight away. I'd perhaps look for it on streaming or something like that. I wouldn't be in a rush to say, oh, my disc's got rot, I must have another copy to replace this. I wouldn't want to replace it straight away. Would you feel that impulse that you had to replace something? Would it depend on the movie, or would you just automatically try and replace it? Or
I mean, for me, it depends on the movie. Obviously, I agree with you. Something like I Am Legend, readily available everywhere, streaming probably God knows everywhere. I think it's on like More 4 and all this kind of thing. And
yeah,
you know, there's talk of a sequel, so you know you're going to get another re-release and things like that. So I certainly wouldn't worry about that. I don't know if there's any particular title I'd kind of go into panic mode about and think,
yeah.
oh God, I must replace it quick.
What if it was a rare or out of print movie?
Well, that's what I'm saying. If it's out of print, then if it's out of print, that means it hasn't had a re-release. So if you were to replace it, you are replacing it with a disc of the same age.
Yeah.
So you're probably going to run into the same problem.
Yeah.
So, like I say, the list of things that you gave out earlier, all of them have had re-releases.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hellboy probably had like 5 different releases on Blu-ray before it even got its 4K one. So they always bring them out as some kind of, you know, some slip-covered edition with a few other titles and things like that, or it'll appear in a Del Toro box set or something.
It's weird, isn't it, that the thought that sort of this collection that's sort of so important that you've got to sort of have certain titles in there that if it did get rot and was useless, that you wouldn't rush to add it back to the collection.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've said this to you before about kind of giving yourself a scenario where you go, okay, you pretend your house is on fire, you've got 10 seconds to run in and grab your favourite films. They're probably the only ones that need to be on your shelf anyway.
Yeah.
And it'd be interesting if you lost all of your films, which ones you'd start going to buy and replace. Because I can almost guarantee you wouldn't replace every single one.
No. I wonder as well if how things have moved on technology-wise and how easy we've got it now for streaming and access through streaming content, if that sort of affects our mindset with if it's got a rot, if it's useless, do I need to replace it? Because you know that there's options there. You know that there's streaming. You know that there's the digital iTunes options. You know that you can pretty much always access it if needed. I wonder
half the things on our shelves we don't watch on a weekly basis. I'm saying half, clearly a fraction we would only be able to attempt to watch on a weekly basis. But I do think we can live without a lot of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be interesting to see if anybody, I mean, so far from a feedback point of view on the comments, not many people have encountered Disrot.
No.
I do think, you know, the story I do think has been kind of, somebody mentioned it earlier, kind of overblown a little bit. When you look at the amount of titles and the short time period where the manufacturing issue was, it's like it's kind of going to affect everything. I agree over time, like you said, Blu-ray won't last as long as DVD does. 4K won't last as long as Blu-ray does. So they will degrade over time. But will they?
I think as well.
Some things age better than others. They just do. Look at me.
Yeah.
I
mean, I think as well, if you look at the people in the chat, we all enjoy collecting. We're all collectors and we all like having the collection. We take care of our discs.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's not like we're throwing them around, not storing them properly or anything like that. We actually care for our discs and take care of them. So I think we're more likely not to suffer as badly as others because we're all quite conscious of keeping a nice collection and keeping them safe.
Yeah.
But
out of sunlight and out of damp.
Yeah. Let's jump back to the comments anyway.
Yeah.
I'm just going to skip Ken's comment and come back around to it in a second, Ken, just so that I'll just stop on the Discord for a second. Jeremy, check them every 3 to 4 months. I was doing it years ago when I first heard about Discord. Takes a few days, kind of looked at our like a spring cleaning ritual.
Okay.
Now
I'm imagining Jeremy in a little apron with a feather duster just going round.
Keep that in your mind. Daz, the disc rot malarkey is doing the rounds in video game markets. GameCube games are said to be the worst for it. Probably just a scam, so people sell the games and others then make profit. Jeremy jumped on it. It's my favourite vampire franchise. Subspecies moves 2 and 3 from a box set Blu-ray, which was a known issue. Just waited for it to affect me before I replaced it. Clock of Many, perfect excuse to upgrade, if you ask me. Depends on the movie, though. Absolutely. We've got some upgrades I'm going to chat about for the new announcements for physical media, because there's a few coming up that are getting upgraded, so we'll get to those in a moment. Jeremy got Doctor Who DVD replaced and the Three Amigos Blu-ray from Warner Brothers. Three Amigos. I'm not seeing that for a number of years. I watched it yearly. The ones I had to replace, if I didn't, I might not have known. Daz, the stuff we collect on DVD, etc., will soon be scrubbed from streaming due to woke culture. Most new stuff on streaming channels is absolute rubbish anyway. I'd rather pull a DVD off my shelf. Fair. I don't think they'll be scrubbed from streaming, but they might be edited for it. David F. If companies ask for proof of purchase, I'm in trouble. Paul Pariah.
Because you're a shoplifter? What was that comment? I didn't understand.
Disc rot usually starts on the outer edges, turns darker, discolors, and a handful of those. I've seen it in a couple of different ways. I've seen just speckles all over the discs before as well. I think usually it's on the outer edge, but I've seen ones that have speckles all throughout. I don't think there's a generalized way of it happening. Jeremy, nothing lives forever except for what the historians write in books. Yeah. Cameron Dune, one of my favourite movies, How to Marry a Millionaire, and the English Blu-ray is hard to come across. So if that was to get disc rot, I would get in touch with the manufacturer for a replacement. Or on streaming. Is that on streaming? Olive Blake, I wash my hands before putting my DVD discs in the DVD player.
I love the fact you skipped past Jeremy's French maid comment.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to scroll backwards because I did skip over
Ken's comment.
Ken, there we go. Hi guys, great last video, Phil. I'm not a collector myself, so I'm intrigued by your last video. You had many sealed Blu-rays and 4Ks in the collection. What's the reason for buying, if not watching?
Yeah, Phil, you loser. Come on.
I'm a collector. I think it's the addiction and the compulsion to do it. I really think it is down to a hoarding addiction, the needing to have it all. It's never the intention that I won't watch it. The intention is there, but I just don't have the filter in my head that tells me, yeah, you want that, but you're never going to have time to watch it, and it will never take priority over these other movies coming out. And I've not got that sort of switch that tells me I don't need to buy it because I haven't got time to watch it, or I don't need to buy it because of whatever other reason. The intention is there to watch them, but my reality is that I don't always get a chance to watch them, or other things are taking priority. And I need to learn that I don't need it all straight away because it's all just going to be available for forever. And if not, there's always options or new releases or anything. I think everything that I pulled out is quite easily replaceable, I think. I don't think there's any that I can't replace. It might not be the same edition, but there are always options out there to see these things. And I think
the double dipping is a fair point, because I was quite surprised that, and you'll say it's because you don't have time to do anything about it, but I think you've probably not been proactive about it.
Yeah.
In the respect of, like, Pulp Fiction, you had it on Blu-ray, you had it on 4K, and you had a 4K collector's edition.
Yeah.
So, like, when you bought the 4K, that would have been the optimum time to get rid of the Blu-ray. And then, knowing you were getting the collector's edition, that would have been the optimum time to get rid of the Blu-ray and get rid of the 4K.
Yeah.
So that's why things are kind of amassing in your collection.
Yeah. That doesn't...
When you're not jogging on the old ones, kind of thing.
But
there was quite a lot of double dips in there, weren't they?
Oh, yeah. But I will say it is a lot of... It's a lot down to time. It is down to time for me, because you smile at me, but my reality is that other things are taking priority rather than getting these things on eBay or taking them to CEX. I haven't got time to go to CEX. I haven't got time to be listing it on eBay because I don't want to break it all down for you, because that'll be dull as mud water. But
and I have to listen to it on a daily basis already. So
yeah.
yes, let's just jog it on. Yeah.
And there's been efforts. I mean, this morning I've been a bit behind getting the. I've not done a decent thumbnail for the live stream because I didn't have time, because I was busy counting up the things that I'm clearing out so I can do my next video. And then I've got to sort the kids out, and then I've pulled them back out, and then I'm sorting things here, and I've just lost track of time. So we've got a crappy thumbnail because I was just literally busy doing other things. And I did count up exactly how many things I was getting rid of and broke them down, how many DVDs, how many Blu-rays.
You're revealing that in the next video, aren't you?
Yes, I will be.
Yes.
And
but it's a decent amount.
It is a decent amount. And I mean, I'm struggling to keep on top sorting it out to be able to get it listed. And yeah, it is down to time. But I don't know how we got onto time from that. Sorry, Ken. I think we drifted off subject on that one.
It was double dipping, because part of Ken's thing was about the amount of double dipping as well as things that you haven't watched.
No,
that's why.
No, I follow, but
yes.
Well, yeah, it's things that I do need to stay on top of, but it's never taken priority to be able to get. It's never been a need to get rid of them. It's never been an urgent thing over sorting.
No, I think ultimately, the smaller your collection is, the easier it'll be to keep on top of. It's as simple as that, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It just kind of spiraled.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm just going to skip a couple because Ken also commented. Frank Darabont collection, especially great movies, but sealed. They are great movies, and I've seen them. So they've never taken priority for a rewatch over some other things. They are ones I do want to rewatch. That box set I am keeping because they're great movies. They are good movies. Yeah. So it will stay in my collection. The Majestic I did actually have individually, but I sold that many years ago when I bought this box set. So yeah, that one will be kept, and it will be unsealed when I'm going to watch it, which I don't know when that'll be.
When the time is right.
Yeah. Anyway, Jerry, all discs need due care and attention regarding storage and use. The better you care, the longer your collection will live.
Are you going to skip down to Clark E1? I think we need to.
I've got the starred comment here. Clark of Many, thank you very, very much. It's much appreciated for the super chat on there. 2,000 subscribers. Congratulations, guys. It's official. Have I got 2,000?
I don't know about guys. Congratulations, Phil.
There we go, yes.
Are you official? Hey!
And again, thank you for the super chat. It's much appreciated. And I am going to, now I think it's time to upgrade our streaming thing and see if we can get on HD. Now you've got a camera and everything. That'd be great. So
I'm ready for my close-up. Yeah. Need some work.
Nice. Joe Snowden's here as well. Good evening, Joe. Hope you're well.
Hey, Joe. Better late than never, Joe. Don't worry.
Yes. Paul Conway. I do a disc rock check every year. So far, 5 DVDs, 1 CD, and a Severin Blu-ray.
And a partridge in a pear.
It makes you think sometimes as well when you see this much about disc rock, and we consider how much we spend sometimes on getting the limited edition hard box, the steelbook or whatever, and then the discs rot.
But it's okay because the postcards will still be in pristine condition.
Yeah.
They're still in cellophane, so it's okay.
Yes. David F isn't a thief. It's not stealing. Most of my DVDs come from secondhand store and garage sales. No receipts over there.
Just in case the police are watching, he's not a shoplifter.
Yes.
Good man. I don't know why I'm doing gun signs. That's probably not a good thing at the same time.
Oliver Blake, I love the soap operas.
Move on from Oliver's comment.
Jerry.
Soap operas.
Did anyone get their hands on Daylight 4K? Jerry got his okay. Sell it, Jerry.
Yeah, sell it, Jerry. Everybody's Jeremy all of a sudden.
I know, sorry.
I did it earlier.
I don't know if anyone else got theirs,
no.
but yeah, I've seen quite a few knocking around actually on various social media sites. There's been quite a few people showing that they've got theirs.
Yeah, I've not seen any announcement about them ironing out whatever the issue is and sending the rest out yet. It seems to be quiet.
Jeremy, I don't know if I want to read this through. My friend James buys adult film parodies physically because some states in the US began banning certain websites. Is worried it will become lost media.
Wow.
Jeremy, I double dip chips in honey mustard. Honey mustard.
Honey mustard.
I got last night while I was watching a movie. I had hot honey roasted cashews, and they were absolutely lovely. Speaking of honey mustard, I thought it was along those lines. But anyway, Daz, sometimes the compulsion to keep collecting gets in the way of your overall enjoyment of the hobby. I'm 100+ NECA figure collector and losing interest. This is, yeah, I absolutely agree with you. And I'll go into this a bit in my next video, that in shedding a lot of titles, I've actually found a weight's lifted, and I'm starting to, I know this sounds weird because they're not fully all gone yet. They're still in a pile ready to go, but it feels like a weight's lifted, and it feels like I've got more control over my shelves and enjoying reorganizing them again and getting my favorites together and things like that. And I just found a new sort of lease of life on the collection, just losing a lot of them.
Yeah. I said that to you and I called it. It is a weight off.
Yeah.
It just feels nothing's kind of stacked on top of each other. There's no piles anywhere or anything. They're just on a shelf. It just feels sensible and in control.
You know, because it's fresh in my mind, because I've just done the video and I've spoke about it a bit. It's weird looking at the pile of stuff and sorting through it, because I don't want to sound really, really weird about it, but I know I told you, I put it on text. There's a sense of like shame in it. There's a sense of embarrassment when I was looking at this pile of stuff to get rid of. Now, clearly, I think the shame and embarrassment comes from, clearly, I had a problem, and clearly I didn't recognize it. And I feel kind of embarrassed that I've not sorted through it, not been honest with myself, or had this problem that I've just not recognized. And I don't know if that sounds funny or not, but there is a sense of shame there.
No, I said to you that, Lynn said while we were watching your video, which I had to watch for a second time because Lynn hadn't seen it, asked me how I felt about it, because I said, like, when you were in the other room going through your bookshelves and what have you, and there's piles of films everywhere, I had 5 big bookcases like that, and they were all just like, some of it was like stacked double because there was far too many and what have you. And it just, when I saw your shelves, I thought, oh my God, I don't miss that. I don't miss it at all. And she asked whether I looked at that and felt kind of strange about it, and did I feel like, oh my God, what a waste of money?
Yeah.
And yeah, I know I did at the time, because I was taking all these things off my shelf going, I'm not going to watch that, I'm not going to watch that. And it's things that I'd paid money to have, to own, and it had just gone on a shelf and then it had never been watched. So what was the point in spending it in the first place?
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. And I'm so glad I got rid of it. Like I say, hundreds went, and it was just a relief. Like you said, it feels like a weight off.
Yeah. Yeah.
It suddenly feels organised, and you feel like a grown-up, as daft as that sounds.
It does feel hard. I hate using the word that I was ashamed about it. It's not a nice word, because I am a collector. I love collecting. I will still collect, but I just need to approach it in a different way and realise what I'm keeping, what I'm not keeping, what stays in the collection for what reason. And I think it's just the accumulation of all the crap that I just wasn't bothered about that bothered me more than anything else. But anyhow, Woody, Phil, set yourself a target of listing 2 or 3 a day. Write some basics like discondition, perfect in the same discondition, perfect in the description. Sorry, words are escaping me now. That's Notepad. Then when you list, copy and paste everything every time you list something.
I have to say, eBay is so simple now. It really is.
I'll be
Tagging the
honest.
mail and stuff, but
Spoiler for a future video, I want to do a test on eBay. I don't massively want to be, I'd like to earn some money from it, but I don't massively want to be a scalper. And I know there's some titles that I've got that are worth a decent amount. And I want to do an experiment. I don't want to put set scalper prices or anything. I want to set things with a 99 pence start and follow them through and see if they actually get to what they should be worth. Not getting up to scalper prices, because it's very easy to look at the pricing on eBay and think, oh, someone's got this listed at £100. I'm going to list it to £100. It's very easy to fall into that trap. Whereas what it's actually worth to people buying is probably a lot lower. And yeah, I want to experiment to see if auctions take it anywhere close, how far off the scalper prices.
I have to say, if I do buy it now, I always go on. I don't look at what other people are selling it for. I go on sold items.
Yeah.
There's no point looking at something and saying, "Oh, that's on there for £100." When actually, when you go on sold items, things are selling for 75 or whatever.
Yeah.
Then I will ever so slightly undercut what the most recent ones were sold for, knowing it's going to shift.
Yeah.
And it's interesting you say about starting it at 99p. That's okay, but it's calculating exactly when you want it to end, because it needs to end at kind of a perfect time where people are back home from work, but they've done like putting the kids to bed or something like that, so they're then available with the phone, and making sure there's not like an England match on TV or something like that. There's all these like factors to get the perfect kind of finishing time with an auction. That's the trouble. So that's quite a lot of research to go into it.
I'm going to hit it. I'm going to hit it like that. I'm going to pick so many titles and 99 pence start them.
Yeah.
See how that goes for me.
And then when they sell for £1 and 2p, go, well, that was stupid. Not doing that again.
Yeah.
Whose big idea was that?
Big J. So I bought me, myself, and Irene about 6 months ago from CEX for £18. Saw it in the charity shop today for £2.
Yeah.
Crikey. Is that out of print? Anyway, I don't know, but
not now. It's not. If it's in the charity shop for £2.
Jeremy, one of my brother's favourite nuts, hot honey cashews. They're very nice. They had the range that I saw. They had hot honey, and there was a lime and something. Lime and chili, maybe.
Lime and chipotle or something.
I'm going to try them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Woody just added Big J's, me, myself, and Irene for £18 on DVD from CEX. Ouch.
Oh, on DVD? I didn't even
know Blu-ray. Blu-ray. J's just coming.
Oh, it's on Blu. Oh, okay.
That's all right. £18 for Blu-rays, fine.
Apart from when you stay in a charity shop for
it is out of print. It is out of print until the 4K comes out.
So who's handing it into a charity shop for nothing and not actually researching if it's worth something?
It's probably a house clearance from someone that's passed away.
Or a very generous millionaire.
Yes. AJ, your video made me take another thorough look through my collection. Great video. Can't wait for more. Ah, that's it. Influencer. I'm touched. Yeah, yeah, I think that's why my aim for the videos is not to command people and tell them they're doing things wrong, but just to allow people to think about their habits and think about how they collect and how they approach things, more than saying you're doing it wrong. This is how I'm looking at it. Just have a think if you're falling into the same habits that I've fallen into. That's my kind of approach of things. Just get that whole process going rather than...
whatever we say on here is just, we're talking about our experiences. It's not going to be the right experience for everybody. There is no right or wrong. It's just what suits the individual.
Yeah. Woody, I had some shame and embarrassment in CEX this week as I took in 54 DVD and Blu-ray. It took the person forever to scan, and the queue was building up behind me. £60 voucher on the plus side.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think it's about timing when you get a big bag to take into CEX.
It's timing, and it's who you actually get behind the counter. Yeah, big time.
Yeah. Just skipping through a couple of others. Last Days on Earth just added AI description on eBay listings now as well.
Yeah, it does really help. Honestly, it does.
Clock of Many, it's free. It is indeed free.
Well done, Clark. You won a many.
Woody, check the average sold prices, Phil. Yeah, as Glenn says. Yes. Cameron Dune, collection should be a reflection of the collector. I own around 50 titles which I love, and I know I will rewatch again and again.
Perfect. That is where I would love to be.
Yes, I think so too.
Yeah.
Pietro Scarpa, do you think that collectors have a negative impact on the prices of 4K releases? Yes, I do. Not necessarily for the standard releases, but I definitely think the collectors have pushed studios to be looking towards doing limited editions, doing steelbooks, doing collector's sets, and I think that way it has negatively impacted on prices, because you're finding that some releases, when they initially come out, they are only announcing the steelbook version or the limited version. You're not getting a standard version for another couple of months, and I think they're pushing the prices higher that way, doing your limited editions and delaying a standard one for later. For example, Panic Room. I would love to pick that up, but it's steelbook only at the moment in a limited edition form, as far as I know, unless there's a standard count.
No, I mean Panic Room, Penguin TV series. Yeah. That's 4K steelbook only. I said steelbook. Sorry, Biscuit Tin. Yeah, it's wrong and annoying. Really annoying. Give people options. Stop robbing from people.
Cameron Dune, I sell on eBay, and I usually try to have actions end around 5 o'clock on a Sunday evening.
So it's out of the way and sorted before we come on at 7:30.
Yes. I could actually get them all to end during a live stream and just do it on here.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. Last Days on Earth. If you're going to make a couple of extra quid for an out-of-print item and spend it on the family, taking the kids out, etc., everyone's a winner. Yeah.
Oh, no. Don't do that.
I've got to. We're going away in August, so I need to save some money for that.
Dollar bill, y'all.
Jeremy, Phil talks about the real meaty topics. I do. Which the best flavoured nuts are.
Yeah.
Big Jace, I already have a small coal pile. Going to take them to CEX for vouchers. I think I might, if things don't sell on eBay or things don't get given away, I think most of it will go to CEX. Jeremy, Phil is a truth monger. Absolutely. Only my truths, though, Jeremy. Only my truths. Pietro, do you think that collectors have a negative impact on the prices of 4K releases? Yeah.
We're not done that one.
I feel we're paying a lot of money for old movies because collectors are willing to pay high prices. And that kind of feeds into what we were saying about the limited editions coming first.
I thought you read that out, and that's why we talked about it.
I did. We just didn't have the end of that.
Oh, one. Okay. I see. Yeah. Gotcha.
Big Jace, including 2 Blu-ray sets of Back to the Future. Don't ask why I ended up with 3. And then Jeremy, not every release needs a collector's set. 100% agree. And I've pulled back from doing that a lot with second sight titles. There's a lot of those that I picked up that I would have previously gone in for a limited edition, but I've stuck with the standard for Drive, Dog Soldiers, It Follows, all sorts of things like that.
I did notice a second sight title in your pile to go, and I wondered if you'd rewatched it, because we've not spoke about you rewatching it.
Which one?
Space Truckers.
Oh, is that in the pile to go? No, I haven't rewatched it. No. I intended to give it another look, but yeah, never got around to it. So it was like, what's the point in keeping it? I don't know if I will ever get around to it. You know, when things are on Netflix or things are coming on Apple TV, and it's like, do I want to watch something new like The Gorge on Apple TV, or do I want to go back and watch Dennis Hopper and Space Truckers?
No, but the thing is, with something like Space Truckers, even if that was on Prime, which I think it was at one point, not that long ago.
Yeah.
If you were scrolling through something to watch and that's on there, you're not going to click on it. You're still going to keep scrolling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why have it in the collection if you're going to skip on it?
Exactly.
Yeah. Bariah, You'll be surprised about charity shops. People pass and their stuff end up in there. And if the worker don't recognise the value, it's jackpot. I think you're quite lucky now. Some charity shops are quite hot on things like that as well, aren't they?
Yeah, quite savvy. I'll say the one I was in today, I was going through, I found a really nice coat. Bear in mind it's a charity shop. It was up at $26.99. I was like, okay, you appreciate its value.
Yeah.
So yeah, I put that back. I didn't buy that.
I'm going to move on topic in a minute because we've been talking about rotters and things for a while. But just before I do, I'm going to just grab AJ's comment. AJ, how often do you watch films on streaming versus your collection? I think for me, it probably heavily leans now towards streaming more so. It's so easy. So easy. What about you, sir?
Well, we watched 2 films this week, and one was from the collection and one was streaming. But yeah, if I sit down in an afternoon and I've got like an hour to myself or something, I don't come in here and start perusing the collection.
No.
Start having to scroll through Netflix or Prime Video or something and find something to watch for a bit.
Easy, isn't it? Yeah. And it's very easy just to sit on the sofa and click, click, done.
It is indeed.
Yeah, it has to be a special evening for me to come and dig out the Blu-ray.
Special evening. A special evening when you've sat down, you've got your special nuts out, and
exactly.
The wife's not home, which she genuinely wasn't last night when you got your nuts out.
Okay, we're gonna.
Was she though? Was she? She wasn't.
No, she was out for a meal. That's why I got to watch that movie. But we're going to talk about what I've watched in a moment as well anyway. But for now, we're going to go with... Yeah, we're going for the new physical media announcements because there's been a few this week, but we're back to the thing that I think... Do you have a problem with this? I think you have a problem with some of these releases. We've talked about them. And a couple of the rumours and new releases, we've got things like 40-Year-Old Virgin that's meant to be coming to 4K. We've got Pretty Woman that's coming to 4K. And we've got Kingpin that's meant to be coming to 4K.
Pointless.
None
of them need a 4K upgrade.
Why?
Are you seriously asking me that?
Is there no. Is there anyone in the comments? What do you think these kind of movies coming to 4K? Do you think they're needed, or do you think they could do with a scrub up and put him back out on Blu-ray, or is what we've already got adequate for these flicks?
Nobody's going to watch 40-Year-Old Virgin in 4K and go, yeah, but the clarity of Steve Carell's lanyard in the shop that he works in, oh my God, it's so vibrant and... You just not. It doesn't need 4K at all. Blu-ray is more than sufficient for all 3 of those movies.
What about Kingpin, though? That's been often underlooked for quite a while.
Yep, and go find it on Blu-ray and watch it. It's a funny film. Bill Murray is particularly funny in that film, but it doesn't need a 4K upgrade, does it?
I don't know. How is the Blu-ray? Is it out on Blu-ray?
I don't know.
I'm not even sure.
I don't own it. I don't own it. I don't think I owned it on DVD. I watched it. I enjoyed it. I didn't feel the need to own it, even back when I was a mad collector.
No, you're a mad collector. Jeremy's just said it doesn't need a 4K. I'm assuming 4K. Jeremy's releasing to all of them, possibly. But Woody, Kingpin does. I love it. Rest, nothing for me. So we've got a Kingpin van there as well. Woody, have you got that on Blu-ray already, or are you just looking for the nice upgrade to 4K? Daz, I'm not really into this 4K stuff, regardless of the movie. I think it's a bit of a rabbit hole to drop into if you're not careful with the 4K, and could end up upgrading movies that don't need upgrading just for the sake of it.
We've all done it year on year, haven't we? And we've talked about it, kind of going from Betamax to VHS. I've just dropped my phone, sorry. Betamax to VHS to, was it then Laserdisc after that? No, DVD. No, DVD came after Laserdisc, and then Blu-ray. And it's just another, and we get into this little trap, into this little lane of kind of upgrading. Before you know it, you start upgrading half your collection.
Yeah.
With titles that do not need upgrading.
No.
Like I said, it was a big leap from Blu-ray, from DVD to Blu-ray.
Absolutely.
Is it as big a leap to 4K? No, it's not. It is for certain titles, but something like Pretty Woman doesn't need to go beyond HD.
No, Pietro's just added Blu-ray is okay for those kind of movies.
Yeah.
Jerry Chia, Dances with Wolves deserves a 4K. Pretty Woman, no need for 4K. I have to agree with that one. Woody's just added, no, it's only DVD for Kingpin.
Right, okay. So it's quite a leap then, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then realistically, could they have just released a Blu-ray and would everybody have been happy?
Yeah. I suppose if you're doing the work, though, you might as well try and rinse what money you can out of it.
Yeah.
Cameron of Dune, waste of money. Jeremy, unless a film has any of these special effects, explosions, creature makeup, many wide shots, does it need a 4K? I'm not sure it does, but I'm going to run into something that might go against that anyway at the moment. I'm just going to come back up to the blue corner, who's added, I don't have a single streaming service, but I do rip a lot of my Blu-rays to hard disk drive and stream them via Plex over putting the disc in the player. I've often considered doing that, but it just felt too much of a faff to me. But I don't know. I could be wrong. It could be easier than I'm making it sound. Paul Conway, the freezing and looking darker puts me off 4K. You
see, I've not experienced any freezing at all.
I don't think you had.
No.
I think the most I hear about the freezing is from the Panasonic players that seem to do it a lot for a lot of the newer titles. I don't know if it's how they're authored in a particular way, but the Panasonic ones always seem to have issues with certain discs. And I don't know why. John Robinson has Kingpin on Blu-ray. So it might have been released on Blue in certain territories. But,
elsewhere. No one knows.
Daz, unless the eyesight is perfect, 4K is hard to identify anyway. And then Woody, I think they did a Blu-ray in the States for Kingpin, but I'm not paying silly money to have it shipped. It's fair. And
silly money.
With these kind of upgrades to 4K and things like that, we had another announcement that I actually got pretty excited for. And I don't know why, because I've got it on 4K already. But it's finally escaping DVD in the UK. Roadhouse, Arrow Video is meant to be releasing Roadhouse at some point.
You see, at this point, what would be perfect is something that you used to splice into your videos, and that was Peter Griffin saying Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Roadhouse.
And, I'm quite excited to have a nice box. It's one of my favourite movies, so I'm looking forward to a nice release from Arrow Video for Roadhouse. But it's pushed that Vinegar Syndrome limited edition price down. I've noticed a lot more cropping up on the social media pages and eBay for sale at more reasonable prices now. So it's just a decision. Do you go for one of those box sets or do you wait for this Arrow release? I believe this one got leaked because the artist that designed the cover said, "Oh, don't say anything. Don't let it escape this page." But this is what I've been working on for Arrow Video.
Yeah, because that'll work, obviously.
Yeah, and obviously it got leaks from there. But I'm quite excited about it because in the UK, it's never had a Blu-ray.
No.
It's only been DVD only. So every Blu-ray that I've had and 4K that I've had for Roadhouse has been imported.
The only Blu-ray I have of it is a German import.
Yeah.
But,
would you go in for it on 4K or not bothered?
Just very briefly, Kingpin is $7 on Blu-ray from the States. So it's available. Just get a Blu-ray. I'll go for Roadhouse.
Yeah.
It's one of my favourites.
It's awesome. There we go. I've lost track of comments again. Sorry, guys. Jeremy, special features were pretty cool. Would have liked more, but what can you do? With America has trailer on the features, yet no English dub on this release is an option. I'm not sure what that referred to, but I read it out anyway.
Yeah.
Big Jace, is that the original Roadhouse or the remake?
Oh, it's the original. We don't talk about the remake, Big Jace.
Well, the original, if you look at the artwork, it's got the double deuce on there, which of course wasn't in the remake. The bar was called something else that I don't recall.
It was the double douchebag, I believe, in the remake. It was shocking, that remake. Shocking.
There was this general shop in this one of the mall type areas that they went to in the remake had just a shop in the background called the Double Deuce, and that was the only time that name popped up in the movie as a throwback.
Yeah. And to be honest, that was the only thing that pleased the fans.
Yeah.
The rest of it didn't.
Jeremy, Peter Griffin saying Roadhouse will go into infamy.
Roadhouse.
Absolutely. Daz, anyone notice that the main feature on a 4K isn't any better than a Blu-ray? It's sometimes the special features that are upscaled plus a 4K movie won't fit on one disc. Is this true? Yes, it generally is. Yeah, it's the size of the 4K movies just takes up too much space, so you generally get the special features on Blu-ray unless you're very lucky. Paul Conway, prefer Arrow releasing cult Italian horror to mainstream now? I think it has got more and more mainstream since the Hook group took over.
The Hook got involved, yeah. But, you know, you've got to go where the money is, I suppose. There's that many boutique labels now. You've got to give the people what they want.
Jeremy, they remade it. Roadhouse? Of course they did, Jeremy. Amazon Prime.
No, don't advertise the fact. You might watch it, poor sod. Don't put anybody through that.
Clark, Arrow still managed to tempt me on a regular basis, but I'm buying less as the prices increase. I went through a period of not buying anything with Arrow and actually trying to avoid it. But recently there has been quite a few other titles that have really tempted me. I've managed to avoid temptation a lot of the time, to be fair, like Deep Blue Sea. But some of the titles are more interesting to me now.
Yeah, who'd buy Deep Blue Sea? Oh, hang on. Yeah, to be honest with you, I've probably started buying more from them now they've gone a little more mainstream.
Yeah.
Far too often, when I was mad collector, I was going to swear then, dog poo horror title that they released, I'd go, well, I'm a horror fan, and it's an Arrow release, so I'll buy it. And then it's just crap. And then beyond that, like I say, even though I got criticised for it on here because I kept commenting on what IMDb voted things, you'd look at their titles and you go, oh, love the artwork for that. That's amazing. I've not heard of it. Why have I not heard of this forgotten gem that Arrow are releasing? And then you look on IMDb and it's got like 3.1 out of 10. You think, that's why I've not heard of it, because it's terrible.
Yeah, I'd agree. Next comment, retro fun. Every release needs an overpriced 4K and VHS box set with a dumb plastic prop and art card. More and more VHS now. I keep seeing Terrifier popping up on VHS as well.
Yeah.
Pietro, I feel that 4K movies don't really take advantage of new OLED TVs and HDR compared to games, who have much higher brightness and high frame rates with really sharp image quality. Big Jace, with regards to Roadhouse, refused to watch the remake, so I wouldn't know. I have US Blue of the original, no special features on it. Is Arrow releasing it on Blu-ray too, or just 4K? No confirmation yet, Jace. This is just sort of rumor and leaked information. I don't even know if it's going to be next month's announcement or it's later in the year. I think it's still all very hush up in the air.
I felt like it was right. Yeah, you're saying that. I feel like I saw July somewhere.
Did you? You might have done.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen a date. Jerry Chia, Arrow 4K of Swayze's Roadhouse is coming.
It is, Jerry. It is.
And there was one more rumor this last week or so that you sent me. Actually, I didn't pick up on it, but you sent me, and it got me really excited. Something apparently coming to 4K. I don't know how reliable these are, but
we love physical media is reliable, a really good reliable source. Yeah.
Oh, good. Wave the Gun coming to 4K from Lionsgate now. This release, I'll be up for that as well on 4K. To be honest, I hope for some new special features on it, but I think it's a great movie, and I think it could benefit from probably slight changes in colour timing through some of the film, but I think some of the imagery on that could look absolutely fantastic.
I wonder if they're timing that with regards to the release of the new Mission Impossible movie, actually.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that.
I think it's such an overlooked movie, an underrated movie. And even when Macquarie is being interviewed for Mission Impossible, it's one that very rarely comes up.
Mm.
I know it's his sort of directorial debut, one of his really early films, but I think it's still strong enough to get talked about more than it does.
Where did you get a copy of that? Oh, it was in the Noir box set thing. Was it imprint?
Imprint, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was in print.
Mm.
But it's in that on Blu-ray. But yeah, I do have the Blu-ray, but I would upgrade that. It's one of my favourites. And I feel like I'm alone.
Getting normally pretty good with their releases, aren't they?
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Normally. But we'll see. We'll see what they come out with.
We'll see.
But, yeah. Dave Simon H. If it's an Arrow limited edition with one disc, i.e. no exclusive bonus disc, I'll generally now just wait for their standard edition.
Yeah,
I need to try and do that with some of them. No, that's Doctor Who. I'm going to skip that. That's to Jerry's in the chat, and I'm going to move us. I'm going to move us on again.
Okay.
So yeah, one of the things I did want to mention as well, with me doing the clear out, I've got a bunch of DVDs that I no longer want, and yeah, I'm going to do a free giveaway for members of the channel. If anyone is interested and they're a paid member of the YouTube channel, then I've put a community post out there. And if you want any of these movies, I'm going to just give them away on there. So become a member if you're not a member or whatever, and then have a look through. If there's titles you want, drop me a message, let me know what you want, and I'll sort out, get them shipped over as well. And I know that was only a brief mention just before I skip on to... Not that. That always goes wrong. So I'll tell you, they've changed how they do things on this. I can't get it.
It's because you didn't let me sing Topic of the Week earlier.
Because you skipped us on too soon. So what did we watch? What did you watch this week? Do you want to start with you or do you want to start with me?
We'll start with you because we haven't actually spoken about what you thought of the movie that I know you've watched.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So, I didn't
do a slide for this one, but yeah, I watched Strange Darling last night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought it was okay.
Okay.
I wasn't blown away by it. I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong. I just wasn't blown away by it. I don't think it particularly did much new. It broke things down and give you things in chapters, which obviously helped the film along. I'm trying to avoid spoilers here, just in case anyone's not seen it, but I didn't think it was anything particularly groundbreaking. I thought it was reasonable. It was reasonable. And I've not got a lot of strong thoughts about it. I was just, okay.
I still think it's one of the strongest films of last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's very actually cleverly done, the way they juggle the chapters to break down the story and reveal certain things at certain times. And I think it's very cleverly done. I think it's really well performed. I think Willa Fitzgerald is amazing in it.
Oh, yeah, she's really good.
Yeah.
I think Kyle Gallner's always quite strong with whatever he does as well, to be fair.
He's always solid. And yeah, I saw him put out on social media the other day. He's just done something with Samara Weaving. Carolina, or the other way around. Carolina, I can't remember. And they were talking about that. And he was saying, yeah, I'm available to work if there's anything out there. Because for some reason, he doesn't get... He's in a lot of things, but I don't think he should be bigger than what he is. He crops up and people kind of go, oh, that's the guy that was in Scream or Smile or whatever kind of thing. But I wonder how many people can actually say his name.
Yeah.
Which is a real shame because he's a really good actor.
He is. I'd have to agree. But yeah, it was okay for me. I didn't mind it. I didn't hate it. I thought it was okay. So I do think the structure really helped it along. Like I say, it was cleverly done that way.
Yeah. I think the fact that it was written that way from the word go to kind of break the story down how it does, I think adds to it being smartly written, to be honest. Yeah. It was one of Lynn in the Other Room's favourites from last year, for sure.
Yeah. Good. So, what did you watch?
We watched something that we were kind of expecting to be a little bit terrible, if I'm honest. We were looking for something quite short just to put on, and we found this on Netflix, and we thought, oh, we'll give it a bash. Why not? And it was actually really good. We both really enjoyed it. And that is, uber surprised to say, the Megan Fox starring movie, Till Death. Which, yeah.
My mind's blown.
It was really good. Not, it's not the greatest movie in the world by any means, but it was a pleasant surprise, mostly because of the direction. Really competently directed, and he's only done short films before it, and it's his first main feature film.
Yeah.
It's slickly done. His shot choices are really good. They're really high level. It's not kind of first person kind of what am I trying to say? An early director out of the traps type thing, where they they try too hard and they spin something round and they try and be cleverer than they actually are. This is just competently directed throughout. Looks nice throughout. And it's a movie that just keeps you kind of interested. You're intrigued where it's going to go.
I might have to give it a look. It's still on Netflix, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I've got it off my bootleg pile down here to give away.
Right, okay.
But I'll happily catch it on Netflix anyway. It doesn't matter. It's not.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, the guy's he did 5 shorts before this, and then he's followed it up with the other Megan Fox movie that's on Netflix.
Yes. And I've heard that's meant to be pretty decent.
Yeah, well, I've noticed now they're both getting UK Blu-ray releases. But yeah, honestly, I was. His direction was what kind of made it for me. It didn't drag at any point. It trotted along at a nice pace and just kept your interest, and it was well done. Yeah, you're saying echo on Glenn. I can hear it as well, and I'm not sure why.
What's that?
Blue Corner is saying there's an echo. I can hear it as well, but I don't know why.
On you?
On me, apparently.
Fair. I'm going to flick through comments. So meows a lot. You should autograph those movies you give away, Phil. I didn't work in any of those. I'd not autograph them happily if I didn't work on them. Anthony, what I've watched from last week is 3 anime films. Makoto Shinkai's 5 centimeters per second, Fireworks, and Suzumi, a Blu-ray that includes an art guide. 5 centimeters per second is one that's popped up when I've been looking at anime films to watch. So let me know if that's any good, because I know its name keeps popping up. But AJ Pink watched High Sierra and Mermaid Legend. Cool third window films released this week, and rewatched Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, we did a rewatch as well, actually. We rewatched Unforgiven.
Oh, yes. Yes, I
and
remember.
bear in mind, Lynn's a very big Clint Eastwood fan. The echo seems to have gone. Oh, that's good. Bear in mind, Lynn's a very big Clint Eastwood fan. When we got to the end of it, we both kind of went, it wasn't as good as I remember it being. And it hasn't aged that well, if I'm honest. It's still a good film, but I remember it being a very good film. I remember it, being big at the Oscars and stuff like that. But on the rewatch, I don't think it stands as strong. Anyway.
Paul Conway, modern remakes are garbage. They suck every bit of fun out of the original. I think Roadhouse succeeded with that, definitely. Woody, I watched more Brooklyn Nine-Nine, The Professor, and The Village, a BBC TV show. I've watched a bit of TV this week as well, which I'll get into in a second, because Cameron of Dune went to cinema on Friday to watch Snow White and really liked it. Great soundtrack score too, and we'll probably pick it up when it gets released on 4K.
That's the same when I said last week you were seeing good reviews and things.
Yeah.
And then since it's actually been released to the general public, that's the only good review I've read. Everybody else seems to really, really dislike it.
I'll be checking it out at some point. I don't think I'll be hitting the cinema with the kids, but I'll definitely check it out when it comes home release. Definitely.
Not one for me.
Plug. I want Tombstone 4K, but knowing I'm going to be paying Sony to issue it and pay Disney who own it sucks. Probably going to be the limited steelbook buy it and only 40 quid.
No, there's steelbook and standard edition.
No,
I think I sent you the steelbook art and the Amaray art.
Yes, I know you sent. Yeah,
I think I did. Yeah.
Daz watched Electric State on Netflix. Overblown CGI, seen better animation in PS5 games. And I've not watched it yet, but I might check it out. And Full Metal Jacket, that film never gets old for me.
Yeah, Full Metal Jacket never gets old for me either.
I do like Full Metal Jacket, but it's one of them films that randomly I feel like I can watch in parts because it's got a very clear slice down the middle when it moves from one type of movie to another type of movie, really.
Yeah, from them in like base camp to actually go into Vietnam is a very big kind of leap and a proper a second chapter, isn't it?
I've not watched it for I'm going to have to dig it out again because I've not watched it for years. Good
film.
Years. Lynn, next door. I love Strange Darling, 9 out of 10, and really enjoyed Till Death too. I'm going to have to get watching Till Death. I'm going to have to do it.
Pleasantly surprised. It's an okay little movie.
Big Jace didn't watch any films this week, but watched the last one, Laughing, on Amazon Prime. Stand-up comedians in a Big Brother style house.
Yes, we're going to watch that. I know there's only one episode at the moment, but it's totally our thing.
Yeah. Anyway, the other things that I watched this week. Sorry, I was just getting thrown off and trying to think back to a comment. I'll bring it up anyway. Jeremy commented, Paul, I disagree. Did you ever watch Phil with one L? Not nearly as good as Phil with double L. I'm not sure who's coming to, who's replying to, but I needed to read it out anyway because it just threw me off for a second.
Yeah. Where's Paul? Come on, Paul. What you got to say, Paul?
TV that I've been watching this week, it's kind of took over from any movie viewing, and I've been watching Squid Games 2 still, because I can't burn through it like a lot of people can, so I've got 2 episodes left, and I'm quite enjoying it. And then I've also been watching Sugar on Apple TV, which I think is very good. It's very noirish. Colin Farrell's great in it, and it's quite a compelling story in a way, and I love the editing style and the cutscenes that get jammed in and everything. I'm really, really enjoying it.
Colin Farrell's great in something.
Yeah, surprise, isn't it?
Shock. He's amazing in everything he's in.
Yeah, between some of the things that I've been watching, it also made me think about what I have been watching streaming-wise. And I'll tell you something, Apple TV is probably my most used streaming service with TV shows and stuff. And I don't know if you're finding that you're sort of going towards one streaming service over the other, but I really think Apple TV has the better quality TV shows. And that's sort of the surprising thing about that is that one of the headlines from this week has been that Apple is losing over $1 billion per year on the streaming service and has 45 million Apple TV Plus subscribers. Are you surprised by this news that Apple's losing money? And what do you think to their service?
Well, I've said to you before, yes, it's okay having great quality programming and stuff, but they just haven't got enough. They haven't got enough stuff to maintain a monthly subscribership. They really haven't. Somewhere like Netflix, yes, they churn out some crap, but they churn out stuff all the time. There's something new all the time for people to watch, and there might be a random thing that you're into. Apple TV does like one movie, one show every few months and stuff. It's not enough. It's not enough for a subscription platform.
There's another show that I want to watch on there now, actually. I'm just a bit hesitant at the minute because it's the weekly thing. I want to sort of just watch episodes when I feel like it, and the binge watch model, but I'll not binge watch it. I'll just watch it at my own pace, whether it's 3 episodes a week or 1 a week. I don't know. But it was called Dope Thief. I thought it looked pretty good as well.
Mm.
But the TV shows on there is generally so well made, much better than a lot of the other streaming services. And
they throw a lot of money at their stuff, but like I say, they're just not. It's not regular enough to maintain a regular membership subscribership.
No.
It's just not.
And I think the model, like you say, of Netflix, they'll churn out loads of stuff, but it's generally poorer quality. And I get the feeling that Netflix just like, when you're meant to check past a handful of spaghetti, throwing it at the wall and seeing what sticks, because most of their stuff gets bloody cancelled partway through anyway.
Mm.
But I'm glad Squid Games is coming to a close on season 3, because it doesn't feel like they're going to stretch that out anymore than it needs to.
No, and I think that is the right thing to do with a lot of shows.
Yeah.
Too many shows drag it out, and it just becomes a diluted version of what it set out to be.
Well, that's the old sort of format, isn't it? From pre-streaming, they just stretched it out while people were watching. They just stretched it out to how many other seasons they could. And that's
I remember watching.
I
used to be we both used to watch it actually. Castle with Nathan Fillion.
Yeah.
And I remember it was probably season 2-ish. He was interviewed over here, and he said, "I don't want it to go on forever. I like the fact like British TV programs like The Office kind of go, okay, we're on a high now. It's not going to get any better than this. This is where we end it." And that's exactly what should have happened with Castle, and it really didn't. Got dragged out.
But then,
it just became rubbish. It lost interest. And
he's doing the same with The Rookie, though. That's still going as well. That's on like season 7, I think.
Mm.
But yeah. Anyway,
how much control he has, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not always down to him.
On to comments, man. On to comments. Woody, I watched Full Metal Jacket a couple of weeks ago. First half is better half for me.
Yeah. Probably agree with that, actually.
Yeah. Ace Max, watched The Ritual, very good survival horror.
Mm.
Big Jace, I think it's a comedy show. There's 4 episodes I watched last night.
Oh, okay. I thought they'd only put the... Right, I've got that wrong then. I thought they'd put the first one on, and then it was every Monday or something. But, if there's more to watch, that's great. But I love, me and Lim both love things like Taskmaster and things like that, which you don't watch. But, no, we love all the comedy stuff. Mm-hmm.
Pietro, I bought Citizen Kane on 4K. Will be my first time watching it. Really don't know what to expect. Is it really as good as people say?
Well,
I haven't watched it.
So for a very long time on this channel, I've been saying I need to watch Citizen Kane because I have it on 4K up there somewhere, and I've still not watched it.
Anyway,
Alex, film fans, and we've not watched Citizen Kane.
No, Alex, I enjoyed Fright Night remake with Colin Farrell. I did too.
I didn't mind it.
I rewatched it not so long back, actually.
You only watch it for Imogen Poots, let's face facts.
True.
Yes.
Jeremy, Full Metal is fantastic. Daz, The Job Lot, 2013 to 2015, about a job centre. Anyone who's been through the mill in that, sorry, lost my words, that mill in the last few years will relate to the comedy. I never watched that. Never saw that.
I've not heard of it, if I'm honest.
Woody, Apple appears to be nagging out some good shows. I think they do. Jeremy, I watch Apple. Good. I'm not quite alone then. Not quite.
Mm-hmm.
Blue Corner. Yes, Netflix pump out massive amounts of content, but they are in massive debts too. I think that it wouldn't surprise me if there was certain streaming services being sold all over the place eventually, because it's that saturated now that there's going to be some kind of amalgamation at some point of one or more, I think. Jerry Cheer on to pickups. My pickups this week: Wolfman 2025, The Penguin 4K, and Vesper Chronicles. Daz, found out the other day that Prime TV still has adverts on it, even though you pay a monthly subscription. If you want 0 ads, it costs more. Yeah, there's a few doing that now.
Yeah, they introduced it not that long ago.
Yeah. Woody, But season 1 of Severance with my CX vouchers, another Apple TV show. Hope it's as good as I hear or read.
Yeah, loads of my friends are into it and absolutely adore it. And we started it and couldn't quite get into it for some reason. It was just a bit too weirdy-beardy for its own good.
We struggled with it. We started it, and the missus didn't like it at all. So it's one that we drifted off of at the moment. Yeah. Dave Simon H. I watched Killers of the Flower Moon when Apple had a free weekend. Apparently, only has an Italian Blu-ray. Same story with Coda. Coda was really good. Very, very good. That was. You never watched that either, did you?
No, that was the hard of hearing.
Yeah, essentially children of deaf adults. There we go. Dusan 1. I caught
Killers of the Flower Moon.
There we go. Thank you. I was just trying to figure that out there.
Right.
I thought it was a bit slow, to be honest, but I'd give it another try. It's one I still need to get to watch. Anyway, I'm going to jump on to pickups. What did we pick up in a moment? Because I'm just trying to figure this out. Pickup of the week. Did you pick up anything this week?
No, but I just remembered I did watch Get Shorty in the week as well.
Oh,
sorry.
Let's go on to that now. You've ruined my.
A bit late on that one. No, but I remembered I messaged you, didn't I?
Yeah.
And I said, I'm just sitting down for an hour and I'm just going to put Get Shorty on. And then I sent you one again about an hour and a half later with the end credits rolling. I managed to watch the whole thing. Really enjoyed it again.
Yeah, that's when they could fit. That's when they could fit a solid movie inside about 90 minutes. I want to watch
pickups. What did we pick up? What we picked up? Have you picked anything up?
I did order something. I'm going to add it to stage because I got an incredible bargain. Look at this: Roadhouse, out of print, Vinegar Syndrome, 4K UHD, Blu-ray limited edition, £9.04.
£9.04. That's brilliant, Phil. When do you expect to receive that?
It was when they announced that. Well, when the news came out that Arrow were going to be releasing this in the UK, this started popping up all over eBay. So I bought that. And I was really looking forward to receiving it. And then I got a message from the seller. Oh, I'm so sorry, I messed up. I didn't mean to list it at £9.04.
No, eBay messed up. They didn't.
eBay messed up, yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't meant to list at £9.04. He wanted it listing at £75.
Which is so similar to £9 and 4p. You can see where the issues arisen.
I knew it was wrong. I just wanted to chance it to see if I got anything through. It could have been a jilted ex-partner or something just selling this stuff off for cheap. I thought, I'm gonna see what I can do. And obviously it was a proper seller, and it was a bit gutted he listed it wrong. So
no, eBay messed it up.
eBay messed it up.
Yeah, not him.
I was on one this week. This is I've not received this yet, but I went for. I don't know if this is going to come through okay or not. To be fair, but I went for Kronos on Blu-ray, and I put in it was listed at 15. I put in a cheeky offer of £12, and he offered it for 14. And you can't see on the picture, but the picture shows that it's the 4K edition as well. So that should be coming this week, hopefully, if it is in fact legit. Because I've been on Vintage since and saw that it has another copy listed with the same pictures.
Okay.
So now I'm wondering what I might get through.
Maybe he's just stealing them to order. Potentially. I mean, I'm just throwing that out there. Potentially, my lawyer says it could be. I mean, if it is, it's a bargain, obviously.
Yeah.
Because it only just came out a couple of weeks ago. It's £30 in the shop. So if you've got one for 14, wicked.
Yeah.
Oh, I did get a book through that's film related.
Right.
Is that allowed?
Yeah, you can go for books. I'm good with books.
Okay. I'm gonna grab it because people will like it.
I'm gonna jump to comments though while you're doing reach around.
Do it.
Sorry if I skip any. I'm trying to keep up with you all. Daz, I picked up Rawhead Rex from Arrow. That's one I didn't pick up from Arrow, I don't think. I think it looks a bit too far for me. Cameron of Doom. This week I bought Zombiever on Blu-ray, an all-time favourite of mine. Big Jace. I picked up Interstellar and Me, Myself and Irene Blu-rays for £2 each. Irene will be trading in as a voucher at CEX. Go on then, are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready, yes. So, when I was a kid, I'm still a big horror fan type of thing. I owned these books. I owned these Nightmare on Elm Street books.
Right.
And if anybody else did, but I loved them. And as I've been clearing out my mum's attic, I've not been able to find them at all. So there's no way I'd have got rid of them. So I don't know where they've disappeared to. So a few months ago, I managed to do a little bit of a deal, and I bought these 3 in bulk and got quite a good price for them. But it probably still about, I think they're about 35 or something for the 3 of them. But like that one in good condition is 20 something quid anyway, type of thing.
Yeah.
And then I was browsing the other day, and I happened to see, because that one goes for like 20 odd on its own and things. And I happened to see one for £9.
Yeah.
And I thought, that looks better condition than the one I've just rebought. So for £9, that one turned up. Let's compare it to this one. This one's like creased, and it's got folds and various different things, and it's a bit faded. This one's pretty much immaculate, and I got it for £9. So
Nice.
I will be selling that one on at a increased value on eBay.
Any offers? Head to the Facebook page and message Glenn.
eBay, that, as I've said to you, now because in the UK we've got this whole new thing where if you hit a target of £1,750 or you sell over 30 items per year, you have to, they report to HMRC that this individual is, potentially trading or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got my notification this week to put in my national insurance number because I've sold over 30 items this year. But it does say clearly on there, if you are just clearing out a garage or an attic or whatever like that, then you won't be taxed on it. But it's to try and clamp, yeah, exactly. It's to try and clamp down on people trying to make a revenue stream from elsewhere through eBay, and they're going to clamp down on it. So eBay are going to lose a hell of a lot of sellers.
Yeah. Yeah.
They really are.
Jump into comments. Rare books. I managed to get the Castle of, say this for me, I'm not going to get my chops around this.
Cagliostro, yeah.
Which I think might be out of print in the UK in CX for free with my voucher, alongside Lupin 3 and the first movie in HMV are both in the same series. Jerry Cheer, wait for Arrow Roadhouse. Yeah, I will be. I'm not chasing down the Vinegar Syndrome. It was just because I saw it at a silly price that I impulse clicked purchase.
And don't you already own that edition?
Yeah, but not the box version, not the limited box
version.
Oh,
okay. Oh, gotcha.
Jeremy Carr, Jeremy will allow you to bring books onto the stream.
Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you.
So Meows a Lot ordered Reboot, the complete series, should arrive Monday or Tuesday. What's Reboot series?
Is that a cartoon? Because randomly today at the toy fair, I saw some action figures that were called Reboot. And I'd never heard of it before. And I'm wondering if it's that. It might not be, but let's have a go.
Stephen Hopkins vaults. Even if the discs start rotting, I'd keep them for display. I can look at my shelves, drift down memory lane.
Okay.
That's fair. I think some of the box sets, I would keep some of the boxes, to be fair. I'd be there as well. Especially like my Boogie Nights box set, because that's beautiful pink and sits really nicely on the shelf. Daz, I used to have a Hamlin book of horror back as a kid. Recently bought it again on eBay for 20 quid.
Yeah. I don't know what happened to a lot of my books for some reason.
Yeah, I wonder. But I think I just dumped a lot of them when I was moved out. Like, old kids' books, I don't need those anymore.
Yeah. They're never going to be worth anything. Oh, hang on a minute. Yeah.
Movie Wolf. I picked up The Witches 1990 on DVD. Not really for me, but my boy just finished the book, and it's another edition for his slowly growing collection. I randomly today, one of my kids wanted to watch Lemony Snicket.
Oh, I like Lemony Snicket with Jim Carrey.
I really, really don't know how he came up with this movie. I assume he started reading the books in school, or someone's mentioned it at school or something like that. But it's one I don't have on DVD or Blu-ray, and you know what? It's not streaming anywhere either. I can't find it anywhere. I thought this is one example of a time that I'm at a complete loss for him to see it. Yeah. So I would have, I could have rented it, to be fair, for I think £3.50, but I was being cheap and made him watch Goosebumps instead. So Lemony Snicket, so I might pop into CX because I think it's like £1 in there or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was rather gobsmacked that I couldn't access it any other way.
I really liked Lemony Snicket to the point where I bought the book series off the back of it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, which I've since sold on Facebook Marketplace, but the thought was there. The thought was there.
Yeah, quite unfortunate.
Mm.
The San 01. To be honest, it tends to be a manufacturing mistake more than wear and tear for the disc rot. Bad storage. The Warner Brothers DVDs were washed down with sterilized water at the plant, so basically rotting from the inside day one.
Ticking time bombs.
Jeremy Carr, 49 watching, 26 likes. Your finger's broken. You tell him, Jeremy.
Yeah, because Jeremy's going to break your fingers otherwise.
Yes. Sorry, I have to pause on that one a second. I was just bringing up a comment. I read the first couple of words and I had to finish reading before I brought it up. And the Bever Book of Horror, which is essentially the same book in smaller lapsed, backed by Daniel Farson. There. There we go. I'm just flicking through again. Hi, Mad Dog 578. Hi, Mad. A bit late joining the live stream this Monday morning.
Monday morning, of course. You're in Australia, aren't you? Yes.
And the problem is now, I'm kind of at the point of wrapping up, and I feel bad because Mad Dog jumps in and then we jump out.
Well, can I just say, Jeremy Carr has confirmed that yes, Reboot is the first CG cartoon. So those figures I saw today were that, which is crazy coincidence.
Oh yes.
I've never seen this before.
What's the future like, Mad Dog? It's 4 p.m. Sunday here. Oh my goodness. It's 9 p.m. here.
Yeah. All over the place.
Yeah, 8 a.m. with Mad Dog at the moment. So anyway, Glenn, have you got anything else to add before I start wrapping us up?
No. Other than I won't be here next week.
Next week. Bye, Glenn.
We've not had a chance to talk about it yet, but I won't be here next week. I have a work commitment.
Ah.
Yes.
Very good.
My OnlyFans is going crazy, and Sunday's very popular.
Fair. Yeah. As well, just want to mention any YouTube members, there's a bunch of movies on there that I'm going to give away. So if you want to become a channel member, there's a bunch of films and a few more that I'm going to be getting rid of on there if anyone wants a chance at anything. Other than that, if you want to keep up and see some more pictures of those that are being given away, you can head across to the Square Eyed Geeks Facebook page. If you want to just chat away and do whatever, we'll post occasionally. Should post more, but
yeah.
And let's have a flick through the comments before I say ta-ra. We've got Daz. Have a good one, everyone. Thanks for the stream, gentlemen. Welcome, Daz. Hope you enjoyed it. So meows a lot. Will Brian be a guest if Glenn is gone? Not sure today. I might at the moment. We'll get Brian back.
Yeah. I mean, considering you didn't know, this is you finding out that I'm not here next week. But
yeah, considering I could ask Brian, or I could reach out to Spencer that works as an actor on the Doctor Who films, or even Jimmy that was an actor on the Doctor Who films and Harry Potter and Star Wars. Yeah. So yeah, it depends if you want a guest interview or a guest to chat about physical media. Let me know on Facebook or in the comments. Jeremy is nosy. Jeremy wants to know if it's a work retreat, trust falls and hippies.
No, it's literal work. I've got work to do, unfortunately.
Big J's last move is standing should join you next week, Phil. No, if Brian's popular, we can see if Brian wishes to join. It might be a bit big for me now. You know, Brian's a lot more popular.
Brian, y'all.
Mad Dog, knew this would happen. I will catch the replay. Wish you could view comments when watching the replay. I think you can, you know. I think, Mad Dog, if you're watching it on a phone, I think you can swipe left. This is on the YouTube stream. We're not talking about Tinder or anything like that, but I think you swipe left or swipe right, and you can see the live comments as you're viewing, I believe. Jeremy, great stream. Thank you. Welcome, Jeremy.
You're welcome, Jeremy. As always.
Have a good weekend, Phil and Glenn, and all in the chat. Anthony, goodbye until next stream. AJ, thanks for the stream. Always the best part of a Sunday. Glad you enjoyed it. AJ, Clark, great show. Bye all. See you later, Clark. Thank you again for the super chat. Much appreciated, and it will go towards the channel. Mad Dog. So not like the movie, The Conference on Netflix then. Don't know what that is myself, but
I don't know what that is either.
No.
How bad are we? But anyway.
Terrible.
So yeah, so not like that. Yeah, let's play along.
Goodbye, Big Jace. Hope you have a nice evening. Goodbye, Sir Meows a lot. And
bye, Meows a lot. Sort them little trays out.
Goodbye to all. Hope you've enjoyed. I'll catch you all soon.